Hi, everyone. I'm Anna, and welcome back to the Diary of Atomic Love. Today, we are going to learn how to pray. This is our lesson 8, and just a few more pre lessons to go before we get to the true love part of this journey. Today's message is from Matthew 6, 5, and 6. When you pray, do not be like the hypocrites, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and on the street corners to be seen by others. Truly, I tell you, they have received their reward in full. But when you pray, go to your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you. Now, this verse is about the importance of private prayer. And prayer should come from your heart rather than seeking recognition from others. And it allows for a deeper and more aligned understanding of God's will for you. And learning how to pray will help you maintain a meaningful spiritual journey. And most people, they do understand how important prayer is. But have you ever questioned how to pray? Prayer is going to be a big part of your life. And if you're going to follow this self-love tour that I have going on here, you will have to learn about prayer. And it's not necessarily that I'll be praying with you. Of course, if someone asked me to do it, I certainly would. But since I record these lessons and discussions, we might not be watching or learning at the same time. And you might not feel comfortable having me pray with you. So knowing how to pray and why we do it is very important. And you can find a lot of verses about prayer in the Bible, but I focused on this one because it explains how to pray and less about the outcome of it, which is most often the goal of many people. You see, many people fail to pray unless they're in trouble or they need something. Now, I want to be honest, that is a pretty shallow and self-centered way of being prayerful and asking God for something. And I'll say that He loves us and He's promised to listen to us and hear us out and hear our prayer at any time. He's always available. But having a lifestyle of prayer is the much better way. There are blessings that come from consistent and heartfelt prayers, and having time daily with God has become one of the most rewarding parts of my day. I pray and journal in the morning when it's quiet and I'm more at peace. And I have said many times that I do that because I want God in my head and my heart before the world finds me. And some people laugh at that, but it is a true statement. The moment I turn on the TV to catch news or weather or look at who messaged me overnight on the phone or who posted a meme, the world is already at work trying to change my mind, my perspective, and cause interruption of my journey. And the devil, well, he's at work trying to stop whatever blessing that I have next. And because if there's one thing that he hates the most is when we get those blessings. So let's start with this. Is there a correct way to pray? Seems like a fairly easy question, right? But did you know that even the apostles asked Jesus how to pray? They were told not to pray to Jesus, but to pray to the Father. And many people don't understand that. But it is because He is the one who makes the decisions and enforces the obedience. It is God that has the power to give the orders. He is the one in control. Jesus is the mediator at prayer time. And we are to submit our will to God. Our prayers do not have to be elaborate, long, or overly expressive. In fact, simple is often better because He already knows what we need. He has already promised to care for us and to give us comfort. We don't have to be at any certain place because, well, God is within us and He is everywhere that we are. Now, I got a message not long ago about a message where I said that I prayed in the shower. And that is a completely true statement. I have. And I've literally stood in the shower and asked God to cleanse my body and my soul because water is purifying and some of my best ideas come when I'm taking a shower. Plus, a shower makes me feel good. It's warm, it's clean, it releases stress, and it just plain makes me feel good. Now, I've also prayed while gardening, and especially when I ask God why those darn gardener snakes have to jump out and scare me. They are really the least of my favorite of God's creatures. And I've prayed in the car, on my walk, while I've vacuumed. I confess my sins daily, which we are called to do, and I also do that during my time of prayer. Now, one thing I do is I refuse to begin my day by being held back by my unconfessed sins. And some people don't realize the importance of confession, but asking for repentance is very important. And if you're not used to praying, well, I encourage you to begin your day this way because it helps create your peaceful beginning. Now, praying comes easier as you go, and in case you aren't used to it. So I would tell you, if you haven't been someone who's regularly chosen to pray, it is okay. You can begin at any time with any simple prayer. God will help lead you there. And as you grow spiritually, you'll begin to hear his voice and identify with it. And he will tell you that if you seek him, you will find him. And I can attest to that as well. One of the most important things to learn is that God will not always answer your prayer, but he does sometimes give us a yes. And if it's a no or a not yet, then patience, it's the key. Now, I've openly said it took me a long time to learn patience, but as I've also said, God doesn't work like a human time clock. Time is irrelevant to God, and all things are completed in his timing, which is called divine timing. And sometimes you just have to wait, and that's it. But I will tell you, the wait is always worth it because he's always bringing something much better when he tells me no. And you have to trust that he sees and knows all of that and will do what is best for you every single time. And you should expect that he hears you and acknowledges your prayer. His answers are always in unconditional love, and we can't always understand why there's a no, but know that if he does say no, that equals pure love. And in fact, we aren't even meant to always know the answer, just to be faithful and understand that a no is really God's love. And if you're afraid to pray, well, prayer's not scary. It isn't hard and it's not mysterious. There's nothing to stop you from doing it. Talking to God is a normal part of human life for any Christian. And if you're new here and just now choosing to be a Christian or learning how to pray, well, then welcome. Because, learning how to pray is probably one of the best and most important things you will ever do in your life. And if you would like me to pray for you, well, you can just reach out. I'll be glad to do that. And if you choose to surrender yourself and want to have less anxiety, fear, or hopelessness, or if you're looking for the wisdom needed to face anything, well, prayer is your true ticket to that freedom. A free ticket to a blessing that can open a door for you to a more fruitful and peaceful life. The blessing that you are receiving through prayer can open a door to God and potentially to your salvation. So if today is your first day, then God bless you, and don't be afraid to call on God. He knew you before you were born, and there is a whole miraculous journey just waiting for you. Now, I hope to see you tomorrow, because tomorrow we are going to talk about incredible pain and how incredible pain results in incredible love. My friends, in a world where you can be anything, choose to be love. Love is the answer. If this resonated with you, please like and share my post. And thank you for your donations to My Divine Mission and for helping me to keep my messages alive. I can't wait to see you tomorrow.